For joining us tonight. Millions of dollars worth of deception. All week long during the Eyewitness News Hour, C.J. Ward and 47 on Your Side have been exposing deceptive practices involving Metropolitan Life Insurance agents.
And today, agents from the Department of Insurance raided the Modesto office of Metropolitan Life, one day after 47 on Your Side's exclusive investigative report, Policy of Deceit. And C.J. joins us now.
It's amazing how quickly they worked on this. We uncovered things such as churning, which is a term we talked about for 4 days, where the agent takes a policy and rolls that over into another policy, and really the only person who benefits is
the agent.
The agent, that's right. Policy of Deceit exposed abusive sales practices by some Metropolitan Life agents locally and across the country.
You're not allowed on the premises at this point in time.
We're not allowed on the premises.
Thank you.
There's no way we can talk to Mr. Korea? This afternoon, agents from the Department of Insurance took over the Modesto Metropolitan Life office, taking over and sifting through boxes, examining their contents, but not saying exactly what they're looking for. However, sources say the Department of Insurance has received numerous complaints by policyholders claiming agents lied about the type of insurance they were getting. Branch manager of the Metropolitan Life office in Modesto, Lonnie Correa, refused to comment on today's surprise raid. In fact, as you can see, no one was really willing to talk to us today. And by the way, this office here is the one that John Steele, the gentleman, the MetLife agent that we focused on for a couple days, he was based out of that office. So we've had complaints about a couple agents, and John Steele really was the focus of that.
What about from viewers? Have you received, after all week of showing this, any calls from viewers?
We've had complaints from other viewers mentioning that they have fallen into this category, and we've moved them on to authorities, so that way they can probably get some help on this. But we will have an update on this on Monday, so join us then. We'll have some more details for you.
Good.
On MetLife. Thanks, CJ.
Thanks, CJ. An emotional day.
Have seized boxes of records at the Metropolitan Life Insurance office in Modesto. Authorities raided the MetLife office one day after 47 on Your Side's exclusive investigative report, Policy of Deceit, exposed how some MetLife agents have lied and deceived policyholders.
And investigators spent the last couple of days searching through files looking for evidence of any wrongdoing by local MetLife agents. C.J. Ward broke this story last week. And C.J., have authorities raided any other officers across the country? Because we know you've done stories on MetLife's problems elsewhere. Yeah,
according to Metropolitan Life in New York, authorities in other states have raided other MetLife offices across the country, but they don't use the name. They actually don't use the word raid. That's the only difference. As for the authorities here in California, they're in their second day of going through the files up in Modesto. Investigators for the California Department of Insurance are refusing to say what they're looking for inside the thousands of files at the Modesto MetLife office. Local policyholders may have the answer. Many have filed complaints with On Your Side and the California Department of Insurance, claiming their MetLife agent said one thing and delivered a policy that said something completely different. Oh, Yolani Korea?
No.
Is Mr. Korea?
You're not allowed on the premises at this point in time.
We're not allowed on the premises.
Thank you.
There's no way we can talk to Mr. Korea? The manager of the Modesto MetLife office spent most of the day behind closed doors. So did investigators from the California Department of Insurance. Authorities have spent 2 days in another room searching through boxes of records they seized during a surprise raid last Friday afternoon. Investigators refuse to say what they're looking for, but it might be similar to what insurance regulators found in Florida and Pennsylvania. Authorities in those states say Metropolitan agents lied to tens of thousands of MetLife policyholders, misleading them into buying certain types of life insurance. Metropolitan was fined millions of dollars for those abuses. Friday's raid would indicate the California Department of Insurance is investigating Metropolitan, but no one at the Modesto MetLife office is willing to talk about it, except Jeep Oliveira. He's been a MetLife agent for 5 years. Think the Department of Insurance will find anything bad?
I don't know.
Interesting.
If they do, then they'll have to deal with it.
MetLife officials in New York responded to the raid by saying, quote, regulators have in the past reviewed files in our offices and in the offices of many other insurance companies. Insurance regulators have the perfect right to come into our offices and review documents and request information. And that's exactly what authorities are doing at the moment. They are going through the files, sifting through and looking at all the paperwork. Right now they're in their second day. We don't know how much longer they're going to be doing that up in Modesto.
Calls keep coming. 47 on Your Side. Keep up with viewer complaints and questions about Metropolitan Life Insurance Company.
Last week, On Your Side exposed how MetLife...
Well, the letters and phone calls keep coming. 47 On Your Side is trying to keep up with viewer complaints and questions about Metropolitan Life Insurance Company.
Last week, On Your Side exposed how MetLife policyholders in the Valley claim their agent lied to them about their policy. As a result, victims say they've lost their life savings to dishonest MetLife agents. So, CJ, the question now, how are you handling all these phone calls and letters?
Well, I'm trying to keep up with them. As we get them, I'm trying to call people back and determine whether they actually have a problem policy or not. So we came up with an idea here, maybe so people sitting at home can look at the policy themselves and try and determine as much as they can by looking at their policy. We're going to give you some information here. Hopefully everybody has the policy in front of them. Here's a simple breakdown. Here's some ways to determine whether you have been a victim of churning, is the term we've been talking about. That is, one, if you're a long-time MetLife policyholder and you had built up equity, built up a good cash value in some old whole life policies, and you rolled that money into a universal or flexible premium life policy. There's the first one. Rolled that money into a universal life or flexible premium MetLife policy. That's the first clue. Second clue. Does the premium amount you are paying equal the planned premium stated in your policy? I'll read that one more time. Does the premium amount you are actually paying equal the planned premium stated in your policy? Now, if we can, Mr. Director, let's show everybody the video. This is the part we're talking about here. That dollar amount, the planned premium, $408.50, if you are paying less than that amount, if you are paying less than what's stated on page 3, turn to page 3 of your policy, look down at the bottom, you will see planned premium. What you are actually paying, is that less or is it equal to? You want to make sure it's equal to. If it's less, you probably have a problem. Okay? Now, if you have a question, you can call us here, contact the Department of Insurance, call us. Let's put up our address, our phone number. It's right here, 47 On Your Side, P.O. Box 5455, Fresno, California, 93755. There's the phone number, 222-2414. If you call up and you get my recorder, disregard the file number stuff. Just leave your name and phone number. I promise I'll call you back as soon as possible. Also, I'd like to thank the Fig Garden Women's Club for inviting me out today for lunch. We had a nice talk, and I had a great time. Thank you very much. John, Julie.
Aren't they a lovely group?
They're
of
a great group.
More than a sporting chance with C.J. Ward and 47 On Your Side.
An Atwater man and his wife have $27,000 to prove it. More on that as the News Hour continues.
Well, things are looking up for Metropolitan Life Insurance policyholders. The nation's biggest life insurer says it will help Valley policyholders who believe... Well, things are looking up for Metropolitan Life Insurance policyholders. The nation's biggest life insurer says it will help Valley policyholders who believe they've been victimized by their MetLife agents.
Case in point, Irwin and Barbara Siegel of Atwater. The Siegels claim their MetLife agent lied to them about their policy. On Your Side has been following the Siegel story, and CJ has the latest. So this has to be good news then for the Siegels.
Yeah, and what's good news for the Siegels could be good news for an awful lot of people here in Central California. Yeah. Irwin and Barbara Siegel spent more than 30 years planning their retirement with Metropolitan Life. The Siegels say they saved more than $21,000 in 3 old whole life policies during those 30 years. And Irwin says it took one MetLife agent one night to change all that. Irwin and Barbara Siegel are looking for a sense of security. The Siegels claim a MetLife agent promised to give Irwin lifetime coverage if they put all $21,000 of their savings into a MetLife universal life policy. But Irwin says that policy will run out in 2.5 years.
Well, if I don't have any more life insurance on this policy after 1998, then I have to start all over again.
Well, I feel like they all should be brought before someone and punished in some way.
Former MetLife agent John Steele sold the Siegels their policy. We asked Mr. Steele if the Siegels and other upset MetLife policyholders had the wrong impression about how long their policies would last.
Are they under the wrong impression? Perhaps some of them are, perhaps some of them aren't, depending on their policies.
You have no problem with the way he sold those policies? Dave Mortera was John Steele's branch manager at the Modesto MetLife office. He's refused to discuss the matter with On Your Side. But insurance investigator Mark Colbert and On Your Side have talked with the Siegels about resolving their problem. Irwin filed a complaint with MetLife officials in New York, and he says the company responded in 10 days.
They would do whatever was in the letter to make it right with me.
MetLife agreed to refund the Siegels $27,000. Irwin says he put most of the money back into 3 Metropolitan whole life policies, and MetLife refunded the difference, $1,267.
I'm sure the check will be good. I feel fantastic. I think Channel 47 and you and Mark Colbert did a fantastic job. I really appreciate it.
And in a letter to Irwin and Barbara Siegel, MetLife explained that because the policies would not perform as the agents had said during the time of the sale, they were going to refund all of that money. We would like to thank Metropolitan Life. That's an awful lot of money, $27,000.
Speaking of MetLife, are they doing anything internally about...
Yeah, we received a fax here from their spokesman in New York, Charlie Sonner, who says that they are looking into the situation up in Modesto, and particularly it looks like 3 representatives in particular. So,
yeah,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll stay on it.
Good job. Excellent jobs.
3 arson fires.
More Metropolitan Life Insurance employees are coming forward with shocking allegations of wrongdoing by MetLife agents and managers. 47 on Your Side broke the story several weeks ago, exposing how some policyholders claim they are losing their life savings to MetLife agents looking to make a quick buck.
3 women who say they ran the daily operations of the Modesto MetLife office charge managers and various agents were systematically misleading Metropolitan policyholders. And the trio spoke to 47 on Your Side in an exclusive interview. C.J. Ward broke this story, so you're going to explain to us how policyholders were misled.
Yeah, we're going to talk with one of the women tonight, and over the next couple of nights we're going to talk about all the different ways that these people have been misled. All 3 women say they've been silent for too long. They've kept quiet, fearing they would lose their job if they protested publicly. But they say the silence has taken its toll. 2 of the women are still employed by Met, but they are in stress-related disability. The third says she suffered a nervous breakdown and was fired by Met.
We have nowhere to go. Nobody will listen to us. Nobody will stop this.
Sharon Ogburn was the quality control clerk at the Modesto MetLife office until she was fired in 1994. Sharon took the information from each application and entered it in the computer. Sharon claims it was commonplace for MetLife agents to churn or twist the policies. That's when longtime policyholders were tricked into cashing in their lifetime insurance savings for a more expensive policy, so the agent could make money.
You're not allowed on the premises at this point in time.
We're not allowed on the premises.
Thank you.
The California Department of Insurance is probing the sales tactics of several current and former Modesto MetLife agents. Earlier this month, 3 state investigators spent at least 2 days sifting through boxes of records at the Modesto office. The raid comes days after several employees filed complaints with the Department of Insurance. The employees claim that it was common practice for agents and managers here at the Modesto MetLife office to forge client signatures, falsify documents, and lie to policyholders about their policies. Sharon says there are some files that state investigators will never find. She says in late 1993 or early 1994, a MetLife auditor showed up at the Modesto office. He was overwhelmed by the number of bad policies written at that office.
He sees a lot of things he don't want to see. He starts digging and asking questions. You could see him sitting there, sweat rolling off of him, his head's in his hands.
Sharon says Metropolitan never finished the audit because she believes there were too many problems.
Shortly after that, about a week and a half, he put in his report, met with Keith Ferris and Lonnie Correa, and next thing I know, we were instructed to destroy all the files that we had.
Now, Mr. Keith Ferris, who was mentioned in the story, who used to be the regional vice president, says the accusations made in the story are completely false. As for MetLife, they're still looking into the matter. We'll have more on this tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks, CJ.